Today I'll walk you through what has changed in the past 2 months in my garden. I have taken a lot of things out and planted a lot of new things in. This is the first planter bed. Last time when I showed you about the bed, it was covered with squash plants. And obviously I have taken out all the plants, and you can see all these other plants that were covered under their leaves. Now they have a chance to breathe and to really grow up. I have a lot of volunteer fennel plants. Look at these caterpillars. These are all swallowtail butterflies caterpillars. So they are kind of a blackie like this when they're small, and then they turn the greenish color when they get older. I have some bees growing here as well. This is a golden one and some red ones. The middle planter bed used to have a ton of tomato plants and a huge funnel. I have taken the funnel out because I'm going to plant a new one somewhere else. I don't want it to take up permanent space in my planter bed. Now I have planted a bunch of cauliflowers, broccolis, Brussels sprouts, and here I have some Napa cabbage. On the side, I always love to have some flowers. These are the Iceland poppies, blah blah, here along the edge, and that's a volunteer zinnia. Let's walk to my third planter bed. Look at all these zinnias. These are all volunteers. They're so beautiful. Look at the color combination. And my watermelon plants are still going strong. Last time I showed you that it had already produced 10 watermelons, and can you believe it's still producing new ones this late in the season? This is a new one, and next to it you see another baby. There's another new one. A lot of cute birds are visiting. They love eating all the seeds. And some nice purple flowers, volunteer California poppies. So beautiful. And I have this beautiful windflower. Look at those. They're like little angels dancing. It's kind of wild that I have volunteer potato plants everywhere in my backyard. Look at this one. I think I just threw maybe a bunch of small potatoes everywhere in my yard and they just sprouted. Here are more. And my fig plants are still producing. Here. Now this is the wild strawflower and milkweed zone. I also cleaned out this zone and put in a bunch of new seedlings that are started from seeds. Like these ones, this, and this. And you'll see how they look like next year. I don't like to plant so much things ahead. I don't like to plan, okay, here I want this plant, there I want that plant. I just like them to surprise me. And some more guys here. On this trellis, this is a jasmine flower plant given by my neighbor across the fence. My guava tree is growing a lot of fruits this year. It's a pretty young tree as well, so this is the first year that I have seen so many fruits forming. I think I definitely need to thin the fruits a bit. Underneath this pear tree, I have 3 eggplant plants and the pepper plant here behind it. They're producing a lot of eggplants. I have been eating eggplants non-stop recently. Look at that. And these peppers have really interesting funny shape. and they're super sweet. Okay, let's move to the center zone. Let's start from this area that's closest to the deck. This part doesn't get a lot of sun, but it has a bunch of things growing. It's kind of wild, just how many things it has. I have the chard. I have impatient, the flower. I have oregano. I have some more milkweed, and have volunteer and tomato plants, and volunteer borage plants, nasturtium, and bees. Okay, I just hear them flying around, but can't focus. You can see I have a bunch of seedlings that are waiting to be transplanted. These are some greens that I'm going to have them move into that bed next week. These are a bunch of flowers. I haven't finished transplanting them yet. Oh, look at all these more flowers. Here is another zone with a lot of beautiful flowers. Wow. I even have a volunteer pepper plant. Because of how hard it is to germinate pepper plant seeds, I'm kind of surprised to have a volunteer one. And these are some beans. And more beans. And my second batch of tomato plants. They have already started ripening. And there's one. See, this guy. Oh, it's almost ready. This is a Cherokee purple. Oh, it's already a little bit soft. Some more here. Even though the plants don't look very healthy because it's kind of a random ground, not planter bed, but they're still producing well. These are China asters. They're so beautiful. Next to it, I have a volunteer Mexican sunflower. Look at this color. And the volunteer, what's this called? The passion fruit plant has got even bigger, and there are still a lot of green fruits on it. It's kind of spreading its hands everywhere. Look at this. And on this side, look at how big it is. This small planter bed has some peas growing along the trellis. Some beets I just transplanted last week. Some more Iceland poppies. The middle bed has my leftover pepper plants. Look at this. I did make a lot of pickles out of this. I'm going to empty this bed to grow something else, like maybe in a couple of weeks. The next one has my Napa cabbage. These were transplanted 2 weeks ago. They're already big. And here is supposed to have more sugar snap peas, but not all of them have come out. Here are some. Here. This is my pepper zone. I just harvested a bunch more red peppers this morning. And then I have the yellow peppers left. I have these small guys. Also have the habaneros. I have one habanero that I have never harvested from this plant yet. I have set up some of these loops next to the zone because I think I'm going to try to cover them and overwinter the peppers this winter. I have never tried doing this. I'll see whether it works. To the left is my beans land. I sowed too many bean seeds all at once. Didn't have chance to eat them, so they have all kind of got old. And I'm just going to harvest the dried pods. Look at all of this. So basically the whole zone is like this. Here are some more second batch tomato plants. Oh, the fruits are very round. Looks interesting. Here in the middle, I have called golden cherry, no, ground cherry, Yeah, so they're like the relative of a tomato or tomatillo. Let me show you how to eat the fruits. So the fruit fall on the ground after they're ripe, and you squeeze out. So this is the fruit. Let me show you another one. Oh my god, it's so tasty. Ew. Okay, still good. So good. These cherry tomatoes are starting to ripe. They don't taste as good as the summer ones. Harvesting more. So tasty.